Hey there, here we are in the shop. It is freaking cold down here, hence me being bundled up. I started work on this thing and I thought, hold the phone. Initially, I didn't want any record of this kilt being, this garment being in my shop. But then I thought, hey, lessons learned, let's go with it. So a repeat customer of mine, I've worked on several kilts of his, brought me this thing, which had been sent to him from Scotland by a beloved relative, and it's remarkable. But beloved relative wants a picture of him wearing the thing. I presume that it was sized because there's a marker here that says it's a 36 waist, which is in fact his measured waist. But I presume that it's a result of vanity sizing because it's far too big for him. It's too long. It's far too. The girth is far too great. So when I looked at it, because it's clearly made, how shall I put this delicately, east of Suez. And I'm going to say right now, if I see any comments about Pakistani kit that's even the least bit racist, I will drop you and block you immediately. We have no time for that crap here. Good kit is where you find it, and shite kit is also where you find it. And this thing was bought in Scotland. So it's a polyviscous, I think. I can't believe that it's wool. One buckle's tongue fell off, so obviously we're going to be replacing the buckles. So I took it, well, I already have his measurements because I've done his work before, but we'll just summarize the things that I find with this kilt. Looking down, you can see that I've already taken the top, I've already shortened it to length. But you can see that the inside was just a hanging curtain, as it were, rather than a real lining. There's no cutout, there's no canvas or anything. The pleats were an even number and not centered at the back. This is a cheap and cheerful, quick operation. It's an entry-level kilt. It's a budget kilt. So the center was at this point rather than here or here, and from the center point we had an unequal number of pleats. So what I've done, actually wrong, it was an even number of pleats, but I've decided I've robbed one pleat from this side so that I can, because the front apron wasn't centered on the design anywhere. So I've let out one pleat, I've robbed a pleat from the left hip so that we can center the front apron. I've robbed two pleats from the right hip, same deal, so that I can create a decent deep apron pleat. And I should back up. He brought me this thing and said, here's the situation. I beloved relative wants a photo of him wearing it. And I says, okay, well, and I gave him the options. I says, shall we just restore this so it's good for the photograph and nothing else? Should we do the job on this so that it's good enough to be worn? Or do you want the full package? Do you want this to be done as well as can be? And priced accordingly. And he chose option C. And I'm like, okay. And again, I'd expressed everything that was needed to be done about this in the shortfalls. But again, so he wants the job. He's going to get the job. I'm not cheating him. I have made him absolutely clear what the quality is, but he wants to please that relative. So be it. There we go. So I've relocated the strap hanger, the apron, sorry, the spore and strap hanger so that they're symmetrical. The center of the kilt is now centered on that middle pleat. I'm lengthening the pleats. Again, I've deepened the inside apron pleat, and I'm going to create a bit more weight by folding this under and sewing it down. I don't dare thin the back out because this cloth is quite a loose weave and it frays very, very easily, and it's not terribly thick. So I'm just going to lay canvas on top of that. I am going to cut out for the buttonhole on this side. But yeah, so from that point forward, having balanced the design on the front pleat, having deepened the pleats, I'll be putting in the canvas and a proper lining, and for the rest of it, it'll be as per normal. I'm going to have to do a new top band because this top band has been so, whoever's using the sewing machine was really making seams that were never going to be picked apart, because there's no way I can salvage this top band without having it come to parts. So I'm gonna have to make a narrow black band from material in my collection to restore that. So I'll post a picture when this thing's done. But things that things that come to my shop. Okay.